Many often wonder, what does it take to become successful in the MyTeam community? The best way to find out is by looking at people who have found success and analyze what they did to get there. In this series, we will be doing just that. Welcome to Inside the Mind, Season 1, Episode 3. Kamani Ingram, aka SplashEdition, aka Splashy, aka New Edition Flash, is one of the most prolific NBA 2K MyTeam players of all time. SplashEdition does play for the Jazz gaming organization in the NBA 2K League, but today we will be mostly focusing on what he has done in the MyTeam community. Despite being one of the top point guards in the 2K League, Splash's resume on the MyTeam side of things is very nice as well. Splash is from Wisconsin, and if you go to one of his streams, you will quickly find out that not only is he a great player on the court, he is one of the funniest personalities in the 2K community. Even though Splash is almost always busy with league games, pro-am tournaments, and everything else in between, he has been able to qualify for 3 consecutive 250k MyTeam tournaments. As the 10th overall pick in the last year's 2K draft, you might have counted him out on the MyTeam side of things, but don't worry, he is back again this year. Splash has gained nearly 10,000 followers on Twitch. He has never uploaded any YouTube content, however this isn't surprising considering how busy he is with the game. Splash's streams are some of the most critically acclaimed in the community due to his high-level gameplay and humor.
Bro, stop hacking, bro. Whoop, back to Gilbert. Double team, triple team, you defenders tickle me. Stupid, you can't stop me. Gilbert, mink.
If you want to see Splash play in MyPlayer, you do have a few more options. Of course, you can watch him play nationally televised in the 2K League with the Jazz gaming organization, and occasionally, he will upload a Pro-Am mixtape or Pro-Am gameplay. You can occasionally find his Pro-Am teammates streaming Pro-Am games that he is in as well, but as far as his MyTeam streams go, normally those are on his Twitch channel, where he never uses a face cam, but fully makes up for it with his gameplay and his ability to entertain his audience and chat. Splash streamed the first 250k qualifiers this year. In the first stream, he was sponsored by 2K, but ironically got an error code kicking him out of the qualifiers. In the second 250k qualifiers, Splash took first on the leaderboards for the PlayStation 4 side, and now will be competing in the next 250k tournament. Before we start to analyze raw gameplay footage from Splash, let's first take a look and see at some of his key concepts. When it comes to building a lineup, considering Splash is one of the best shooters, if not the best shooter to ever load into MyTeam, it should be obvious that he likes to use cards that can shoot. Players with jump shots that have a big green window and a high make percentage are going to be his first choices. If you give him a card that has signature moves that Pro-Am players like to use, it's probably over, and a little speed on top is going to make it impossible to stop him. We can look at this lineup he ran recently and see every player can shoot, and none of them have any weird jump shot bases such as a set shot or anything goofy like that. Splash's in-game mindset is truthfully amazing. Of course, he's going to call for a lot of high screens and take quick stop pull-ups coming off of those. Considering he is a point guard in the 2K League, it is very clear he has a very high on-court IQ, and he often will take shots that would be bad for 99.9% of players, but green them with ease. We are going to break down some gameplay from the 250k qualifiers for Splash. Of course, in this game type, he's going to be trying to get quits as fast as possible, so he calls his freelance right from the in-game menu, 21 delay, which will bring his center to the top of the key generally, speed boost into a 3-pointer, peek and shoot and green within 10 seconds of the game. He just goes into the defensive menu from the in-game, calls crash the glass and stay home, He does not go into the pause settings whatsoever. He knows that he's going to be able to offensively outplay this guy, so he's not too worried about his defense actually giving up a quick poster dunk to T-Mac on the first possession. On his second offensive possession, he simply calls for another screen from Blake, speed boost to the other side of the court, same song and dance, peek into a green 3. His opponent instantly knows he's up against a tough opponent and goes into his pause settings. On the defensive end, the opponent he is playing against tries to rim run, he manages to get a stop and quickly keeps the pace of the game up, throwing to the corner and shooting a white with Dr. J that he manages to get to go. So instantly on 3 shots he is already up 9-3. He's not too worried about the defense as he's daring him to shoot with KG. If he gives up a 2, he gives up a 2, which he does. And you already know by judging by the first 3 plays what he is going to attempt to do here. Call for another screen, speed boost the opposite side. He sees that he is going to get a contest from his opponent, dumps down to Draymond, makes the decision to drive, or he could just run behind the 3-point line and green another shot. On the defensive end, we're seeing more of the same. Splash is willing to give up mid-range shots at any cost, anything to get the ball back in his hands practically, as long as it's not a wide open 3-pointer from the opposing player. So right here, you can see him switch to Curry and totally leave Tydebo in the paint, and he actually is just leaving people open without any worry in the world. Back on offense, he's going to continue to do the exact same thing, call for a screen from Blake. This time, it can be assumed that the opponent turned on hard hedge because his CPU center runs to the top of the paint and gets the bump steal. On the defensive end, he sits with Blake in the paint, he knows where his opponent wants to go, he gets the steal, and as you can see, he could take the lane, but instead, it's Splash. Of course, he's going to shoot the ball and green it.
At this point, his opponent is starting to read these screens. He's going to try and go over top, but Splash cuts back, goes left, and peeks into another 3 with Steph, making him 6 for 6 on 3-pointers 4 minutes into the game. His opponent is starting to play very high on his Steph and Curry card because he knows that he can shoot from back there, which is going to start to lead to some wide open cutting dunks for Blake as well. Now that Splash has takeover on his Steph, he's starting to get a little more confidence, as you can see, not worrying about peeking or setting his feet this time. Splash will take and will make those shots off the move, off the lean, but sometimes also he will shoot whites, believe it or not. I know it's kind of hard to tell after that first quarter, but it does happen. So right now he is running down, he got another lane, and easily could probably take this into the rack, but Splash is a 3 hunter at its finest, pulling that one out and shooting another green 3 with Steph Curry. Being a point guard in the NBA 2K League means he has great vision. If he has an open shooter in the corner, he will most likely not miss him and get him the ball. He's going to call for a quick screen and pop with Draymond on this possession, getting the ball back to Dre for the green 3. If you watch Splash's streams, you know that he does love Draymond's jump shot, so that possession should not be surprising at all. And right here, his opponent knows he is 3 hunting, takes his center, plays too high, and gets burnt on the slip. So the game is actually relatively close, 7-point difference near halftime. And right here, more of the same. He has a wide open lane, but he opts to shoot the 3-pointer, which he greens with Steph Curry going into halftime. Starting off the second half, there will definitely not be a change in game plan whatsoever, seeing more of that excellent court vision, throwing a dot to Anthony Davis in the corner for another 3-pointer. Back on top of the perimeter with Steph, goes for a peek 3. He can tell that he's going to miss quickly after releasing the ball. Switches to Cowens, he gets the rebound and passes it out to Anthony Davis for a mid-range 2-point white. On defense here, he knows that he can give up these 2s, and he has no problem doing it due to the fact that he knows on offense he will make 3s. 3s are more than 2s, not rocket science. He's checked John Stockton into the game, and first shot with him instantly greens it and goes for a gamble. He is now up by quite a bit, so he is playing even more liberal than he started on defense, almost trying to go for every pass, take anything out of the air, just anything to try and force a quit at this point since it is 250k. right now, being a little more patient than he was with Steph with Stockton, doesn't matter, he's going to get wide open and green another 3-pointer. So this is the end of the third quarter now. He's got him by nearly 20. He can't do anything to stop this, even though Steph is no longer in the game. More of the same with Stockton, doesn't really matter. And we are now into the fourth quarter, and this is when it gets very bad for the opponent. I mean, there really isn't much to see here that was different in the first 3 quarters, just letting it fly from nearly anywhere, knocking down every 3-pointer, and making this game even more of a blowout than it already was, expanding the lead up to 30 points by hitting a step back leaning 3 with takeover Stephen Curry. Moral of the story, Splash is a 3 hunter by any definition of the title. He never really seems to change his game plan. He seems to always trust himself to take and make any 3-pointers on his way to victory. Thank you for tuning in to episode 3 of Inside the Mind. It is greatly appreciated. Please let me know in the comments below who else you would like to see featured in the series. Please take a look at the description for my links to my Twitch and Twitter, where I am both very active as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I hope to see you back soon. Thank you, and take care.